How would you like to get more Spotify plays for your song? Let's go ahead and jump right in. Hey guys, how's it going? Austin Reed here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Alright, today we're going to talk about how to get you on big Spotify playlists so that you can get featured and beat the Spotify algorithm, get more fans, more streams, and ultimately more money for your music business. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is how you release your music, okay? So you want to release your music on a Friday, and you want to make sure that you have a pre-release, okay? And the reason why is because a lot of these big playlists, they will actually not accept your music if it's not newly released. So if you're trying to promote a song that's already been released, you're going to have a little bit more difficulty actually promoting that song and getting it on some of these big playlists just because they want new and upcoming music. The reason why you want to release it on a Friday is because there's Friday Spotify editorial playlists that you can be a part of, and you will only be eligible to get on those playlists if you release your music on a Friday, okay? Alright, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about how we actually contact these bigger Spotify playlists, how we find them, and ultimately how we convince them to get our music on the playlist, alright? So the first thing you need to do is you need to find playlists that resonate with your genre of music. So if you play hip-hop, you need to find hip-hop playlists. If you play rock, you need to find rock playlists. If you try to submit your rock to a hip-hop playlist, it's not going to work for two reasons. Number one, the curator of the playlist is not going to like your music. And number two, the people who listen to the playlist are not going to like your music either. And so they're just going to skip over it. You're not going to get a lot of plays, okay? So make sure that when you pick playlists to put your music on, that it is the same genre that is your music. So how do you find these playlists? Well, there's a bunch of different ways to find these playlists. The first way you can find these playlists is just by searching in the Spotify search bar for like hip hop or whatever. Second thing you can do is you can find songs that sound like your music, and you can use services on Google. Just search Spotify Playlist Finder or something like that on Google, and use these services to find the playlists that these songs are already on, and then you can use those playlists to get your music on. You can also buy Spotify playlist lists from people on Fiverr and just around the internet. If you're involved in Facebook groups, you can also contact some people in Facebook groups. Some people have big lists of playlists that they try to get their music on with all the contact information ready to go. And that's a lot of the groundwork that you need to get done to get your music on those Spotifys, all right? So now, once you have some playlists that you actually want to get your song on, the very next thing you need to do is you need to contact them and pitch them, okay? And so, in order to find their contact information, a lot of times it's in the description of the playlist, but sometimes it's not. So what you can do is you can find their username, and you can also find their profile picture, okay? Now, with their profile picture, this is the easiest way to find them. Go to reverse image search or images.google.com, all right? When you go there, there's an option to where you can paste a link to a picture, all right? And it will search the internet and find all the places that that picture shows up, okay? And then you can use that to find their social media, right? So if they're on Instagram or Facebook or something and they use the same picture, you'll be able to find their Instagram, their Facebook, their YouTube, all of those places so that you can then contact them. The other way to do it is to use their name and just search up their name, try to find their Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Ideally, you're looking just for some point of contact, whether that be an email or social media or something like that. All right, so now you've got their contact information, right? But how do you actually pitch them? So this is how I usually pitch them. I'll usually say something like, "Dear, whatever your name is," or "Hey, whatever your name is, I was listening to your Spotify playlist and I really liked it. I actually released some hip-hop music too, or some rock music too, and I think that my music would be a really, really great fit for your playlist. What do I have to do to get my music on your playlist? You can check out my music here. It's going to be pre-released next Friday," or something like that. Usually one of three things will happen, okay? Either they like your music and they put it on the playlist, which is pretty rare, that usually doesn't happen, or they hate your music and they don't put it on the playlist. That's pretty rare too. The most common thing that's gonna happen is they're gonna be like, "All right, dude, I like your song, but in order to get on my playlist, you have to pay 15, 20, 30 bucks. And usually they'll line out some packages for you, whether that be the top 25, the top 50, or the top 100, or maybe even the top 10 or the top 5 of the playlist, where you have to pay different amounts of money to get on different spots of the playlist. Now, I know that on Spotify, it's against terms of service to actually pay for playlist placements, but unfortunately, the Spotify curators don't give a shit, and they want money to get you on their playlist. And that's just how the game works, okay? So what you gotta do is you gotta do some research and some math to make sure that this is a good investment for you. Because as a musician and a businessman, if you're investing in something, like you're investing in your music, you need to have some kind of return on your investment. You either need to break even on your investment or make some money, okay? Now this is where if you do the work yourself, you're gonna see more money, whereas if you pay somebody else to get you on playlists for you, you're probably not gonna see a profit, okay? The reason why is because that somebody else is taking your profit away, right? And so that's why it's really, really good if you do this kind of work yourself, okay? So now, how do you do this simple math and research? Well, it goes like this. You make 0.07 cents for every stream, which means out of 1,000 streams, you will make anywhere between $5 to $7. That's usually how it works, okay? Between $5 to $7 for 1,000 streams, all right? Now, you have to kind of figure out how many streams you're gonna get for each slot on the playlist. Now, you can ask the person that made the playlist and be like, all right, well, how many streams do the people in the top 5 usually get per day on average? Sometimes they will give you that information, sometimes they just won't. So it kind of depends. If they don't give you that information, then you gotta think, okay? So, for example, I would only pay like $20 for a playlist that has about 50,000 followers on it, okay? I would not go less than that. If it's got 100,000 followers, I'd be okay with spending maybe 50, maybe 100 if it's a good playlist and I know it's a good playlist and I can see that it's an awesome playlist. One really good thing you can do is you can actually check some of the music on the playlist and see how many playlists it's a part of. And if it's got a lot of streams, you can kind of guess where the streams are coming from. So check like the top 5 or 10 songs on whatever playlist and kind of see what streams they're getting to gauge it, all right? Now the very next thing is you gotta do some simple math, right? So if you're getting, say for example, 1,000 streams a day, let's take the lower number. Say 1,000 streams a day is about $5. Let's take the lower number. I know it can be up to 7, but we'll take the lower number just for example purposes. All right, so off of $5 a day, you're gonna make $150 a month on that playlist, okay? So if you're getting 1,000 streams a day on that playlist, you should be comfortable spending anywhere between $75 to $125 for that Spotify placement. The reason why is because after the month's over and the 3 months where you get your royalties, you'll get between $100 to $150 back, okay? And so you want to make sure that you at least break even, if not make money, all right? You're definitely out there to make money. You're a businessman, you're a musician, you got to pay your bills, okay? So if you don't at least break even, don't ever put your music on that playlist again, okay? It's totally not worth your time. Now the good thing is that Spotify gives you a bunch of statistics about how many streams you're actually getting from these different songs and these different playlists. So you can actually look at how many streams you're getting from those playlists, and that'll kind of tell you, oh, well, this playlist is worth it and this playlist is not worth it. You can see how many unique listeners you have. And then if you add playlists one by one, you can actually be like, all right, this playlist gives me about 200 streams a day, this playlist gives me about 500 streams a day, you know, and you can kind of gauge whether or not that playlist is working for you. Now, ideally, you want to get between 30 to 50,000 streams in the first 2 or 3 days that you're on Spotify. If you do that, then it's likely that the algorithm will pick you up and then you'll start getting more organic streams, and then your return on investment will double, triple, if not more. If people really like your song, your return on investment will definitely grow, okay? So the idea is to pay for some of these placements to get as many streams as possible within the first 3 days. Release your music on a Friday, make sure you already have it ready to be put on all these playlists, and that is kind of the best chances you have of getting the algorithm to pick you up. All right, now there are a couple other ways to advertise your Spotify music outside of Spotify, and I will have a video about that in the future. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see some more videos about how to be a successful musician, traveling the world, doing whatever you want, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. And you guys have a wonderful day.